I wanted to jump in here and say this idea of rules, and it can also become not insidious, but you mentioned Elon Musk and Twitter, when somebody else can decide what language you are and aren't allowed to use on a certain platform. And I think that is so crucial in today's climate in terms of freedom of speech and in terms of real world application. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm of Austin's view rather, that speech is an act and it's a behavior, but it becomes a bit murky in my mind to what extent speech should be, for example, criminalized in the same way that you might criminalize behavior. I was wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah, well, it's difficult. I mean, monitoring of speech is absolutely routine at all public levels, in all public institutions. The BBC, broadcasters, they have conventions. Again, one can call them rules if you like, but I prefer conventions, that there are certain types of language that must not be used before a certain time of the evening. And then after that time of the evening has passed, you're able to use a wider range. I'm talking about things like swear words and things like that. And the same point applies on the internet. The guys who started the internet, all those geeks out in California, at the beginning, anything goes, absolutely anything. And then they slowly realized that actually there were members of the community that they were supposed to be communicating with that were actually offended by certain types of language. And so they backpedaled to some extent. And this happens all the time. I don't think there is any internet source at the moment where there isn't some kind of monitoring taking place. Again, I don't know what's going on today. I haven't really looked at it, but in the days when I was looking at this, there was always something there. Sometimes the software was absolutely stupid and cut out. I mean, I'm talking of the days when the word sex, for instance, was considered to be a no-no as far as any communication was concerned. So the poor citizens of Sussex and Essex were eliminated. As soon as you said I'm from Essex, then your message was banned, let alone the poor citizens of Scunthorpe. And there were all kinds of things like this. That's the software is more sophisticated now, but it's still there. And this is one of the big problems that artificial intelligence is going to have to face up to. What sort of criteria are going to be in the background of these powerful organizations that may or may not constrain our freedom of speech?